Hey guys, welcome back to the College Predictor Week 9 college football predictions. Let's get right into the shoutouts. I'll start off with Ollie Gordon, the Oklahoma State running back, who ran for 282 yards and 4 touchdowns in their win. And last week, he had very similar yard stats as well. He's been having a good week-to-week stretch, and I think he's going to continue his dominance against Cincinnati this week. Our next shout-out goes to Sion Vaki, who is a receiver that went for 149 yards, 2 touchdowns, but more importantly, his main position is safety. So multi-use player, always good for your team. All right, let's get right into the games. We'll start off where big new kickoff is. The Kansas Jayhawks at home hosting the Oklahoma Sooners. Now, both these teams are very interesting. Oklahoma is perfect. 6th ranked, 4-0, 7-0. Kansas has a good record. They're 5-2. In the Big 12, however, they're 2-2. So they need to pick it up in the Big 12. They technically still can make the championship, but they're going to need a lot of help. I mean, Kansas is a good team now, which is weird to say, but they compete. In Oklahoma, no one expected them to be good before this year, but Dylan Gabriel is a Heisman candidate, and their defense has been stepping up very well. And I think Oklahoma, they're going to be able to contain Kansas. I believe Jalen Daniels will play, which will make it harder, but I still think Kansas isn't good enough for the 6th-ranked team in the nation. It's going to be like the old days where Oklahoma's going to blow Kansas out of the water. Oklahoma is only a 9-point favorite, but I think they're going to win this game by 17. And it is kind of tough to say that because they just beat UCF by 2. All right, let's go to our next game between the Florida Gators and the Georgia Bulldogs. This isn't a neutral site. I believe it's in Atlanta, though it may be in Jacksonville. Both these teams are very solid teams by talent. I mean, Georgia, their defense has been playing good, but not the best I've seen. I mean, they have great players still, like Minkah Williams and Malachi Starks. Florida, on the other side, they're going to attack Malachi Starks with Ricky Pearsall. That's going to be a great matchup to watch in man coverage. But I don't think Graham Mertz is good enough to throw those bombs. Georgia's number 1 ranked, 7-0. And they have to play 16th ranked Missouri next week. Florida's a good team, so I'm not saying this is a trap game. But when you look at the schedule and who's next in Ole Miss and Missouri, you have to look at this as a trap game. Georgia cannot fall to a team like Florida if they're going to make the playoffs, or if they want to even make the SEC championship. And obviously, I don't think they will, because Georgia is a 14-point favorite. I think they should be a little more. Florida's going to win this. Georgia is a 20-point favorite. Georgia's going to win this. Georgia's a 14-point favorite. They're going to win this game by 20. All right, let's go to our next game between 2 incredible Pac-12 teams. The Oregon Ducks, who just came off a win against Washington State, and the Utah Utes, who just came off a win against now-ranked 24 USC. So this is a 8th-ranked versus 13th-ranked, and it helps that Utah's at home because that actually gives them a chance. Both these teams are 6-1, 3-1 in the Pac-12. So the winner of this game will most likely play Washington in the conference championship. This game could decide who makes or who doesn't make the conference championship. Both these teams are talented. So Bryson Barnes, he's been filling the shoes of Cam Robinson amazingly. And I think in this game, Bo Nix is the better quarterback, and he has better targets to throw to, such as Troy Franklin. And I was going to pick Oregon originally in this game as their 6.5-point favorites, but you can hear my dog disagreeing with me, so I'm going to go with Utah to win this game by a field goal at home, and they're going to rush the field. Let's go to our next game between 2 very low-ranked teams, but they're still ranked, so they're still good. Louisville Cardinal, 18th, at home, hosting the Duke Blue Devils, ranked at 20. Riley Leonard, I mean, he gave it a shot against Florida State, and his injury got worse, so I don't think he'll be back. I mean, he might try to go for it, but I don't think he'll be at his 100% either way. Louisville, they have a mid-quarterback in Jack Plummer, and their guy is Jamari Thrash. He's their number one receiver, number one player on the team. He's going to need to step up against Duke at home. And Louisville is a favorite. They're 6-point favorites. And this is a battle of basketball schools. I think Louisville is the better team, and Duke is going to have negative momentum after losing to Florida State. Because now Duke can't make the playoffs, and it's going to be very hard for them to make the ACC championship. Meanwhile, Louisville is right up there with Florida State. I think Florida State it's going to be Florida State versus the winner of Louisville and North Carolina. And me saying that means Louisville wins this game. Louisville, 6-point favorites, win this game by 4. Let's go to our next game. Between a rematch between a game that was like 40-something to 6 last year. Tennessee, whose offense has declined from last year, and Kentucky, who seems like they're the same. Kentucky, last year they had to go with Will Levis. This year they have to go with Devin Leary, who I think is a better option against Tennessee. And Tennessee's not the same team as last year. We obviously know they don't have Hendon Hooker, Darnell Wright, Jalen Hyatt, or Cedric Tillman anymore, which was their guys on the offense. And Joe Milton has not looked very consistent at all. Both these teams are 5-2, so if Kentucky wins this game, they'll most likely find themselves in the top 25. Tennessee's currently ranked at 21. This is a big game in the SEC. Kentucky, this is obviously a rivalry game, border to border. I think Kentucky, they're underdogs. They're 3.5-point underdogs, and they're going to be mad from last year. They've waited a whole year for this moment at home, and they're going to take advantage. Kentucky will upset Tennessee with a score of 27-20. Tennessee will not have the best game. Let's go to our next game between the most overrated team in the Pac-12 against another, I think, a perfectly rated team in the Pac-12. Colorado, they're overhyped. They have good players on their team. Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, Xavier Weaver. But they suck. They lost to Stanford. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all you Coach Prime fans, because he's a great coach. And I'm sorry if you guys think you guys are legit. You're not. I'm sorry. I'm going to break it to you. But you guys have a chance to upset a ranked team in this game. 23 UCLA. Now, UCLA's quarterback hasn't been the best ever since they lost DTR to the Browns. Colorado's a new team from last year, and they haven't lived up to expectations. But I'm not saying they're a bad football team. Just compared to what they were meant to be, they're a bad football team. But if you pictured Colorado to be the same as they were last year, you would say Colorado was having an amazing season. And I think they are going to turn their season around after this game against UCLA. They're 15-point underdogs, and I think Colorado is going to win this game on the road by a field goal. I think it will go to overtime. And let's finish it off with two Mountain West games. Fresno State at home hosting UNLV. Now, I don't know what to think about UNLV after last year. They're 6-1 bowl eligible. Fresno State 6-1 bowl eligible. I mean, like, UNLV came out of nowhere. And Fresno State, we knew they were legit. So this game is between two bowl clinched teams, both 6-1. So this should be a great Mountain West game. I think it will be one possessions for the most part. I do think Fresno State is a better team, though, but it doesn't show on the record. UNLV has a better record in the Mountain West, and they're going to have the same record after tomorrow. UNLV is underdogs anyway, since they're on the road. They're 4.5-point underdogs, and I do think they're going to end up winning this game. UNLV will lose this game by 7 points. I think it will be close. I think it will be closer than the experts think. But Fresno State is going to be too much for them to keep up. Today, this is a game for UNLV to show that they're for real. And our last game is going to be between the 19th ranked Air Force Falcons against Torrey Horton in the Colorado State Rams. I mean, we've known Air Force. They're a run-first team, even though they're called Air Force, which doesn't make sense. They should change their name to Ground Force. They've been really good running the ball. Their quarterback is not 100%. I think he'll still play, though. And speaking of quarterbacks, Colorado State has a pretty good one. Braden Fowler, Nick Holtze. Excuse me if I said that incorrectly. And he has been having to throw to Torrey Horton, which is a blessing. Torrey Horton, he's the most underrated player in college football right now. I mean, he's the shiftiest guy there is. I mean, if you saw his game against Colorado, he was shifting. He was breaking ankles. I mean, this year he has 6 touchdowns already and 738 yards. And if he could pick it up, he could be his stats from last year, which last year were 1,131 yards and 8 touchdowns. And this is a better Colorado State team. The record doesn't show it. But will they be able to upset Air Force 7-0 with their home field advantage? I don't think so. I think Air Force is going to show that they should be in a New Year's Six Bowl. Air Force 14-point favorites win this game. I think, let's go 13. I think it will be a fight. I think it'll be a dog fight until the second half. But I still think Colorado State can battle it either way. Alright, thank you for watching this video. It was a lot quicker than normal. And that's because there weren't as many good games on paper this week. So I just selected the ones that are going to be the best to watch. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for next week where there will be plenty of better games. And until then, see ya.